Welcome to a new episode of the Prosperity on Air podcast. I'm your host, Paola De Vescovi, and today I'm recording the intro to today's podcast interview in London, where I am for the Women Who Dare to Desire conference. You have been hearing about the conference again and again over the past months, while I was interviewing the speakers who will be present at the conference. And finally we are getting there. So the conference is taking place this coming Friday this week, 31st of January, and I'm really looking forward to meeting in person all the amazing, inspiring, daring women that I have been interviewing over the past 2 months. Today I am having my weekly conversation with Sabine Matharu. I hope I have pronounced your name correctly, Sabine. Sabine is originally from Austria. She moved to the UK after university. And here she worked as a leadership coach for top management consulting companies. And, when she had children, she felt that she needed to change something in her life. And she started to build her business as a side venture. And with determination, thanks to her amazing project management skills, and especially by listening to her intuition and following what her intuition was telling her, she has been able to create a very successful coaching business where she creates step-by-step programs to help other women create their own business in a very, simple and step-by-step manner. I'm very honored to interview Sabine. We've been knowing each other for a while. We met online, as you will hear during the interview, and I have been able to witness her success, the way she built her success, and the shifts that she experienced and created in her business, making it so successful as it is today. So I don't want to take too much of your time, so let's now move to my conversation with Sabine. Sabine, thank you for being with me today.
Thank you so much, Paola.
Okay, so I have already said something about you to my listeners, but I would like you to tell something about yourself and what you do.
Okay, so, my entrepreneurship actually comes from the fact that I'm a mom. I was in corporate for many, many years. I was traveling a lot and I was a leadership coach back then. So really enjoyed my career. But when I had my children, things just completely changed. And I wanted to do something that really fulfilled me and something that I could actually do around my children, because it was very important for me to be able to be with them, and to spend the time and see them grow up. And through that, actually, I grew my own business. And then I thought to myself, well, what is it that I can really offer? Because I was coaching before, I loved training, but I kind of stumbled across what I do now. I'm a business coach, basically, because I had so many challenges when I started my own business, and there are so many shiny objects and challenges when it comes to establishing yourself, especially online with, the ever changing environment. There's always something new. There's always things that we could be learning or doing, or this strategy and that strategy. And out of that actually grew my business, and it's called Reach for Greatness, because I really thought to myself, but what is it that I am striving for, and what is it that I want to help other, say, moms or women who want to go into business. They want to also reach for greatness, or they want to do more in life. And that's how it's all grown. And as you know, Paulo, I've got several different arms now. I mean, there's my coaching, my one-on-one. There's a mastermind. There is a membership club, and the latest edition is books. Is publishing books to help other women become visible and sharing the message of real life entrepreneurship.
We've been knowing each other for a while. We met online through a group, and I've been following the development of your business since at the very beginning. I remember like it was yesterday that we were talking about the initial phases, and you have grown in quite a short amount of time. So would you mind telling our listeners this process that you went through to build your business?
So I guess to you it may look like it's been a short amount of time, whereas I was working probably in the background for many years to kind of learn and establish. And it's like an iceberg. You only see you think people make it overnight, but that is an illusion. And that's the thing, if you start comparing yourself with others, oh, this person's grown so much and so quickly, why can't I do it? And that's been going on in my head as well. But yes, really, it is true that I had a shift, and that shift happened, well, it's probably about 2 years ago now. And
already 2 years.
But well, yeah, it was January 2018.
Yeah.
When I went to an event in London, and I met. It was an empowering event, and we did a lot of exercises, and I had a lot of conversations with different women, and this is really when I kind of came out of my shell again, because quite often when you are an entrepreneur, you're doing stuff, you work from home, and you kind of feel a bit isolated at times. And then I realized, when you start connecting with others, when you have those open conversations, you realize you are not the only one. There are others in the same boat. And I think this was the start of my shift. And this is, I think, what I would give to any of your listeners, to say, well, one of the things is stay connected and surround yourself with really good people who believe in you, because quite often our family doesn't always believe in us, although they mean well. That they don't understand what we're doing, especially when we're establishing a business online. They don't understand us at times. That was the first shift. The second shift that I had, again, in the year 2018, was to kind of lose my mask and kind of step into who I really am. And I know it wasn't easy to do, because it's to do with kind of just letting go and trusting a little bit more, trusting, say, the universe, and sort of let yourself come out of the shell and not trying to be someone else. And sometimes I felt like I wanted to please others, and that I wouldn't actually voice my opinion, or I didn't want to insult other people on social media especially. But I think it's really important in order to be able to stand out, that you are authentic and that you can truly talk from your heart. It doesn't mean that you have to, be swearing all over social media, or have a really sort of harsh and aggressive sort of way about you. But I think it's really important to just follow your heart and be yourself. And through that process of listening, I came out with so many ideas that were somewhere within me, because I believe we all have the answers within us. It's just we need to listen to it. And when I listened to, right, okay, what is it that I really enjoy doing? I realized I enjoy creating networks and communities and helping other women. So I decided to start my own TV show because I really enjoyed, interviewing others and learning from others and helping other women to become visible. And that really, really took off. I mean, within space of about 6 months, I had interviewed 150 women and had done 40 shows. So that was really, really great. And then all of a sudden I became so busy with inquiries because I built this following, I built this audience around me, and I had many more ideas. And those women actually asked me, so how can we stay connected? Can you build something for us? So I thought, okay, well, what could this be? And I wanted it to be different to other places because I know Facebook can be very busy and, people don't really get to know each other properly. They're very sort of friendships on the surface. But I made sure every person that's in my Facebook group, I spoke to them. I gave them the opportunity to come on my TV. We then did networking, online networking, so virtual networking groups as well. And the Greatness Club was created. So that was a paid, or is still there, is a paid membership. Just a small fee every month. And this is how I create, this community where we keep on networking. And of course, I have been coaching one-to-one a lot. I got fully booked with my one-to-ones, and I decided, well, maybe now it's the time to create a mastermind, to create more like a sort of a group program. And then I launched my Business Accelerator Mastermind, which now is a hybrid between group and one-to-one, because I still believe that when you are building a business, watching videos is not going to help you. You can
No, absolutely, I agree.
Yeah. You have, you can Google it, or you can go on YouTube and you can watch all kinds of strategies and things. But how is it really going to relate to your business? How can you implement it? And if it's not working, who's going to help you with the next steps? And that's really what I have created. And that's my vision, for my mastermind ladies, and that they can actually come back and we tweak. And this is how I actually built my syllabus, sort of step by step. So you're not going to get overwhelmed. So you're not going to get like lost in a shiny object syndrome, because you could be going off and do this stuff and that. I'm really helping the women focus on their journey to go from A to B, to actually make, if their first 5, or if not 10,000 pounds or dollars a month, which happened to me in 90 days. From me doing the Reach for Greatness TV, to really unleashing my potential, I actually managed to do 10,000 in like 90 days. Yeah. And I believe everyone can do it, because I came from nowhere,
Yeah. It's interesting what you were saying, because, I notice, not only now talking to you, this is something that I was, first of all, experiencing myself, but I can see this trend emerging more and more clearly. Whilst, until some time ago, there was this, boom of online video courses that you could do, at your pace, and there was no real presence of the creator of the course there. Now there is this need of, having the support, the personal support of the course creator, or his team, his coaches, more and more. So there's this new trend where the personal presence and the one-to-one work is felt as something we all need more.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Because I've been in those courses myself, and I've experienced that, and I often wouldn't even finish the program because I would be frustrated and really stuck. There was no accountability. You're just one out of many and all that. Yeah. So I absolutely recognize that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And maybe also, as you said, also need, there are many courses out there, and like you and me, I imagine many other people attend these courses, and they have amazing, tools and contents and strategies, but they are not able to implement them. So having somebody helping them to implement all these things where they have invested their time and money is important too. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And one thing I have also learned is that, there are these gurus out there, or the celebrity coaches that are everywhere, and they have all this amazing branding, all these amazing sales pages and sales pitches. And I have invested several times in those celebrity coaches, and I've always been very, very disappointed compared to working with someone who's a no-name. Because if they have their coaches, they do their just A and B and C and no more.
Yeah, yeah.
And that to me was really disappointing. So no name coaches, they're there to give you their all, and sometimes that's actually even more valuable, and you can learn more from them.
Sabine, what, in your opinion, have been the biggest challenges in building your business?
For me, it was definitely consistency. And sometimes maybe it's even the fear of building something bigger, and whether you will be able to handle the limelight in that sense, And sometimes you kind of doubt yourself whether you're good enough. And I guess the thing that helped me was the fact just go and do it and sort of shut your ego off and just go and believe in yourself. And the amount of emails and messages and likes and loves that I had, from the audience just kind of fueled that. And I was like, oh my gosh, they love the content. They like me as a person. They like me as me, because, I'm not an entertainer. Sometimes you look at people online, you think, oh, I want to be just like that person. I need to be like having my jokes, or I don't know, right? But it's about you being you, and sort of believing in yourself and having that confidence. That would be my golden nugget. And I'm sure so many will be relating to exactly that. I think it's not about the strategy, it's more about yourself and your belief. And I think the second thing for me, because I'm a busy mom myself, and I have so many other projects, I've also been working full time in an organization and sort of building up my business on the side. Again, it's like, how do you deal with everything without losing your mind? And quite often you have to set like really strong boundaries, and those ones I actually broke over and over again, working on my business day and night, evenings, weekends, and neglecting even my loved ones. And that needed a big turnaround, because I'm saying the reason why I have built this business is because I want to spend more time with my family. I want them to have a better life. We want to have holidays together and afford all these things, and me doing what I really love. And at times, I was completely working against that. And it's about recognizing that, and sort of pulling yourself back and starting to, I guess, starting to pick out the activities for your business that really bring the results. And again, you got to kind of look at what's the shiny object and what's really going to bring results. So maybe shiny object for me was like building an amazing website, and it took ages, right? And now I'm not even using it, because now what I'm using is a landing page with a freebie to collect email addresses. And the front end needs to be content creation, or being there and creating a community and reaching out to people and selling every single day. Yeah. So if you don't do that, then your business is going to die, right? And quite often we can be distracted by doing other things, because we feel like, oh, I don't want to be selling, or I don't want to be doing this. especially those things that we don't want to be doing. Those are the things that probably will have the biggest impact and bring you results.
Yes, yeah. So can we say that your biggest challenges have also been your biggest lessons?
I would say that, yeah. Now, as you kind of made me think about it, I think those are the lessons, and this is something I am actively working towards for the next year as well, to actually structure my business and my activities in a way that it feels more fun, it feels more light, and I dare to say I might not even be able to spend more than an hour or two every day on my business, and that means, when I have the time, I want to do more quality rather than quantity. Very focused activities, automating more. I know people say, oh, I'm not sure about ads and Facebook ads, they don't work for me and things like this. But if you are a smart business person and if you really want to grow your business, you need to get new leads. And you don't want to be there on Facebook for hours and hours posting in groups, and so it's almost like throwing spaghetti on the wall. So sometimes you've got to be very focused and invest some money to actually get there. And this is my message for everyone who's listening. If you want to restructure, think about your business, how you really going to make it work. These may be some of the considerations. Look at what are you doing right now, what's working, what's not working, and what could you be doing in the new year to potentially even reduce the amount of work that you're doing, but doing it in a more clever way, and sort of give more quality rather than quantity.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. You are a busy mom, you're a busy business woman, you are doing a lot of things. How do you, I don't like the word manage your time. I prefer how do you organize your time?
Oh my gosh. I'm a project manager by heart. So I have to-do lists, but sometimes I actually don't look at them. I'm like, my day just goes haywire. Again, this is something I need to work on as well. What I do is, though, I have specific times when, because you could get lost so much in scrolling on Facebook and I don't know, learning new things. So I actually have allocated times for this. So I would reduce the time, because for me, those are the biggest chunks. I have an allocated time once a week to create content. And then repurpose all the content as well. So it's about really being clever with regards to what you do. So have allocated times. Again, it's what I said before. Look at the things that you're doing right now in your business, and take out the things that are really that you think are really gonna drive results. And the things that are gonna drive results, it's definitely for you to build an audience, to reach more people, to create content that really resonates with them, so that they're gonna start to get to know you, like you, trust you, and then you're gonna make an offer and sell. That's a big chunk of time. So I kind of stopped looking at. I don't think even my website, some of the links are now broken. Maybe I have to go back and do that. But these are not the activities I'm focusing on.
Yeah.
I also have a time when I really shut down. I've shut down. I used to be available for messaging until midnight, but I stopped that. So I started to, set some expectations. But that isn't a problem with my clients or my business colleagues. They absolutely understand and respect that. And even if I say, look, I can't get on a call at 9 p.m. in the evening because I don't know, I'm with my family. They actually really respect that I actually tell them this is how I want to work, and then even they say, oh, well, maybe I should do the same. So it's sometimes you feel kind of embarrassed of kind of setting some boundaries, and you want to actually serve as much as possible, and you go all the way. But sometimes stepping back is definitely earning your respect from others too.
Yeah, how can we say that? Working less and better in a wiser way to get more done.
And
Yeah.
and being brave enough to communicate this to others around you, and I've not had any pushbacks from any of my clients. Sometimes, of course, because some of them also work full time, they would email me in the evening, but that doesn't mean I gotta go and read the email and respond straight away. You just set the expectations.
Exactly. And I mean, it's not a question of life or death if you reply to an email the following day, is
Absolutely.
it?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. So I know that one of the projects that you devoted a lot of time on during this past year, especially past year, is your book. So tell us more about it.
My books. Yes, so a little story behind this. So they're called the Greatness Stories, right? It was 2018 August. I woke up one morning, and it was a time when I had these amazing shifts and insights. But I woke up one morning with a very, very clear mission: go and write a book with 100 women and share their inspirational stories. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've never thought about writing a book or doing anything like this. I mean, I'm not even a native English speaker. I'm from Austria, right? And I thought, I want to do this. I have no idea about Amazon and the copy, and I don't know what else is involved, right? But I took it very serious because I had a very clear mission, and I had a very clear idea how the book needs to be put together. What it's going to do, it's going to help others. It's about sharing real stories of real women and helping others grow and ultimately reach for greatness. And because I couldn't do 100 stories in the one book, because literally within 2 weeks I met a copywriter. She came into my networking group, and I thought, that's a bit spooky. It's another sign. I need to speak to you. And then she said, I work a lot on collaboration books, and I have experience with the project management and the processes, and I know a publisher as well. And within 4 weeks, we had the whole team together. My husband's a graphic designer, so I said, well, you will do the design. There's your job. And within, I think, 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, I told all my network. I said, hey, I'm writing these books. Who wants to share their stories? And then the first 25 women came together really, really quickly. And from kind of inception, if you like, until the delivery, the launch of the book was about 7-8 months. So it's really, really quick, considered that we had so many legal documents that we had to put together, for all kinds of reasons, as people may not be able to share names in the books and the copyrights and so on. And we came up with Rise, in Pursuit of Empowerment. So that was the first one. It's all about 25 sparkling women. So it's got a starry feel to it, and it's available on Amazon, by the way. It's called Rise. And these 25 women actually have so many challenges in their life. I mean, starting from illnesses, over divorce, building their businesses, losing their businesses, losing their corporate jobs, So I think there is a story for everyone in there. And the book's been so super successful. We were Amazon bestseller in 5 countries, so we can call ourselves international best-selling book. And of course, there are sequels, because it's 100 women. The first 25 were in the Rise. Second 25 are now in the next book, which is being launched on the 1st of February 2020, which is called Joy: Recipes for Abundance. And this has a little bit of a twist, this book, because we're sharing actually kind of fun recipes for how to actually live your most joyful life. And again, the next 25 women are actually sharing their recipes for sort of what brings joy into their lives. And again, we're going to have amazing pictures in there. So Every woman has got their bio in there, so it's going to help them become visible, as they all are entrepreneurs. There is also a page with a beautiful, on Rise we had the quotes, so we have beautiful pages with a quote, so every woman has their quote in there. And Joy will have a very, very similar concept where we have beautiful imagery. So if anyone wants to get the book, it's best to get it on paperback because it is so beautiful, and you could just pick it up and just read any of the stories. It's not a book you have to read from start to finish. And I have a vague idea in terms of what the last two books are going to be, but I'm probably not going to talk about this right now because may change. It may change, but they're still on the cards. And this is the beauty about, this is like a 4-year project. So every year I'm thinking about the next concept of the book, so it's not happening overnight.
Amazing what you are doing. It's really beautiful. And listening to your words, what I see is that really the shifts, the lessons and everything that really helped you push forward your project and develop this amazing project that you have created. All this came when you listened to something inside yourself. Exactly.
And just to kind of finish off with the lesson from the book is the fact again that I wasn't familiar with any of the publishing, and I was a bit scared about this as well when I thought about it. But the right people came together for the project that supported me. So I guess a little bit of a lesson is trust the universe to have the right people come to you. And also don't think you need to do everything yourself all the time.
Yes.
I think that's one thing, like as a sort of solo entrepreneurs, we need to learn everything. So I guess one of the big things, like I have been going through the last 6 months, is actually building a team around me. It's about starting to outsource some of the things and getting experts into your business. So yeah, and I guess that will actually make you do some project, although you thought you can't do it, you will look back at it and say, oh my gosh, I did it, right? Although I thought I couldn't, and maybe others thought I couldn't. So again, believe in yourself, and the right thing will happen and come to you, and listen to your gut when it presents to you, when the opportunity is presented to you.
Yes, and discard what your conditioning mind is telling you, because sometimes maybe I would say most of the times your intuition, the message that you get from within is pushing you towards something that you don't know, you are not ready for, and that requires that you really get out of the box and do things differently. So it's scary sometimes, but if you listen to it, as you said, the right people arrive, you start attracting what you need.
Exactly. And I think it would be easy to say, oh, I'm not ready yet, and then you kind of crawl back into your safe cave or wherever, right? But sometimes it is scary, and if you push yourself, you will really surprise yourself as well, that actually there is no such thing as I'm not ready yet, because the universe will present those opportunities to you which it thinks you can actually handle. You wouldn't get those ideas if you can't handle it. And I know quite often we kind of scare away from it and kind of bury it. But at some point in the future, it'll come up again. If you are really meant to do something, it will haunt you. It will you'll be reminded. It was like that for me when I had an idea, because I started off as a leadership coach, and I was doing a lot of training in in the corporate environment and in classrooms or boardrooms, basically. And I was ready. I wanted to actually get it online and sort of reach more people globally. That was my initial idea. And then I said to my husband, I think I'm just going to digitize my stuff. And he said, well, you don't know how to do this. You don't know how to do the video cutting and this, that, and the other, and the software. And I was like, I have all these ideas, and I just pushed through. If I'd listened to my other half, I probably still wouldn't do this. So sometimes you got to be stubborn, and because it kept on following me, the thoughts of, I want to do this on a video, I want to do online, I want to take this onto a bigger audience. So I think that's enough said. I think that may just concluded this podcast, and hope this is really useful and motivational too.
Yes. So follow your intuition, follow what your inner wisdom is shouting at you sometimes. When you don't pay attention, it really shouts at you.
It does. It will shout, and it becomes louder and louder. If you listen to it, if you let it,
Yeah, absolutely. So where can our listeners find you?
So the easiest way is to go on Facebook and look for Reach for Greatness. I have a business page, and I also have a free group for, it's also called Reach for Greatness, for the ambitious female entrepreneur. And of course, I also have a website, reachforgreatness.co.uk.
And the book, as you said, it's on Amazon.
Yes, it's on Amazon. Rise in Pursuit of Empowerment. And if you're listening to this post February 2020, also look for Joy Recipes for Abundance.
And all the links to your website, Facebook page, and Facebook group, and to the book on Amazon will be in the show notes of this episode. So people will just need to click on them to reach you very easily. And as I said in the intro of this episode, Sabine is one of the very inspiring speakers at the Women Who Dare to Desire conference taking place in London on January 31st, 2020. And when you are listening this podcast, we will be very close to the conference. So come, because there will be a lot of inspiration, a lot of networking, a lot of, relationship building, a lot of sharing, many opportunities for us all to get together. So if you are in London, don't miss this event. And if you don't live in London, this is an opportunity to spend a weekend in this beautiful city and be inspired at the same time. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there, Sabine, in January. Too. And I hope that, many of our listeners will take the time and the opportunity to be with us there.
Thank you very much.
I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Sabine and that you got some important takeaways from that. My personal takeaways are, the importance of setting boundaries and be very intentional very intentional in the way you organize your time, on what you want to really focus your time and attention. And as Sabine said, make sure it is the things that really are bringing the profits to your company, to your business. The other important thing is that never forget your why. Why are you building a business? Why do you want to build a business in a specific way? In Sabine's case was, the possibility to have more time with her family, with her kids. In my case, is the same, to have the time to devote to my dear ones, but also, the possibility to experience freedom in my life. And finally, the other important takeaway is really listen to your intuition. Sometimes it's a whisper, sometimes it shouts at you when you are really meant to do something. And if you tend to ignore it, it continues to, haunt you, as Sabine said, until, you finally pay attention. When you follow your intuition, you are also moving in the right direction towards the goals that you want to achieve. So this is all for today. I'm really looking forward to the conference on Friday. I hope that some of you will be there. And I will have a special episode after the conference. I'm looking forward to interviewing again the organizer, Deborah Luzzi, on this first experience of an event like this. What it meant, the challenges she experienced, the important takeaways that she got from this experience. And I have many questions to ask her, honestly. So I wish you a wonderful week, and I will see you again next Tuesday. Bye for now.